Good evening, folks. This is Bill Breeden. Welcome to Constellation Tour number 56. Tonight we're going to talk about the far southern constellation, Indus, or the Indian. And Indus is best viewed between August and October. And being a far southern constellation, we've been forced to travel south near the equator. So we're in a town called Cayenne in French Guiana in South America. So we had no choice. Indus is just too far south to view even from Miami. So we have Stellarium set up for a 60-degree true field of view from moderately light polluted skies. Indus is best viewed between August and October. So we have our Stellarium set up here for August 10th, 2020 at about 10:20 p.m. Now, being this far south, constellations in the south are going to be much higher up, so that gives us a chance to find Indus. So let's do that. Let's figure this out here. The sky is going to be a little bit unfamiliar to us, so let's get familiar with it. So we're looking south in August, and we can see pretty clearly here the scorpion of Scorpius. Here's the 3 stars of the claws, and here is the J shape of the stinger of Scorpius. And the heart of the scorpion here is Antares, or Alpha Scorpii. So let's look a little bit to the southeast now, and we can find the lonely star Fomalhaut in an otherwise empty part of the sky known as the Cetus Void. So we have Fomalhaut right here. That's also the alpha star in Pisces Austrinus, or the southern fish. And looking just to the south of Fomalhaut, you will see Grus the crane. Here are the wings here, and then here is the long body of the crane. And going just a little bit south of Grus, which is why we had to travel so far south, because from mid-northern latitudes, the southern horizon cuts everything off about where my arrow is going. So you don't see much, you don't even see southern Grus, let alone anything below that. So from a more equatorial location, if you look just to the south of Grus, you'll find this next bright star here, and this is not visible from mid-northern latitudes. This is Peacock, or Alpha Pavo, and Indus is in the area of the sky just between Grus and Pavo. So you've got this part of the sky right here with this one lonely sort of medium bright star here, and that is the star Persian, or Alpha Indy. So let's go over that again. That's one way to find Indus. Look for the lonely bright star Fomalhaut. Look just to the south for the constellation Grus. And here's your alpha and beta stars in the constellation Grus. And looking even further south, you'll come to the bright star Peacock. And just between Grus and Pavo, Pavo is the alpha star Peacock is the alpha star in the constellation Pavo. You have this medium brightness star here, this 3rd magnitude star, Alpha Indy, or Persian. Confused yet? I am. So a little bit of a challenge here. First of all, we're in an unfamiliar part of the sky, and Indus is an obscure constellation. So I'm doing the best I can here to help you find it. So let's turn on the constellation lines. And we can see here's Fomalhaut, or Alpha Pisces Austrini. And here's Grus the Crane just to the south of Fomalhaut. And if you keep going south, you come to the bright star Peacock here, or Alpha Pavo. And just between Grus and Peacock, you have Indus here, or the Indian. So let's look at our constellation boundaries. And I've got the star Peacock here highlighted, but Indus includes the Alpha star here, but it's this whole long, slender constellation here within this border. Everything inside that border there is part of Indus the Indian. So let's do our mythical figures here and see how it's depicted. So you can see here the Indians depicted upside down in the sky. Here's the eye of Pavo or Peacock, and here's Grus the Crane, and then here's Fomalhaut, or the mouth of the southern fish, Pisces austrinus. And you've got Scorpius here, the stinger. You've got Antares here, and the 3 stars in a line here, the claw. So if there's an easier way to find Indus, I'm open to suggestions. Looks like you could also use Sagittarius to find it. Let's see how that would work. So here's the teapot. Here's the stinger of Scorpius, and here's the teapot. And here's Grus the Crane here. Here's Fomalhaut. Here's Peacock. So if you come, I'm not even sure how I would do this. If you come down from the handle maybe of the teapot and come down below that, you run right into Peacock. And this 3rd magnitude star here just above Peacock is Persian, or Alpha Indy. So anyway, it's a challenging constellation to find. So there are no Messier objects and no notable deep sky objects in Indus, but there is one double star. So before we look at that, let's travel to a dark location. Oh my goodness, thought it was hard to find Indus before. So let's try that again, shall we? Here's Fomalhaut here. And just to the south of Fomalhaut, we have Grus the Crane, the wings here, the body here. And as I said in my constellation tour about Grus, that reminds me of the space plane in the movie 2001, A Space Odyssey. The slender, kind of curved line here with the wings going this way. So you keep going south, and this is where the horizon would get you from a more northerly location. But from French Guiana here, we can keep going south, and we run into the star Peacock right here. And here's the 3rd magnitude star, Persian, or Alpha Indy. Okay, so let's look for, I've got one double star here to search for, and that's Theta Indy. It looks relatively easy to find. You've got the Alpha star of Grus here, Alpha Gruus, and you have Peacock over here, and it looks like it's about halfway between those two. This is a 7th magnitude double star located 97 light years from Earth. And through the finder here, it doesn't split. Let's see if we can split it manually with Stellarium. It takes a little bit of power, but Theta Indy does finally split. If you're going to observe this, I would use at least a 10 millimeter eyepiece maybe even more power, maybe an 8mm. So let's use Stellarium as a star chart and see if there's anything interesting that catches our eye here in the constellation Indus. Let's go to our Deep Sky Objects tab and click on Labels and Markers. And let's make it so we can see the constellation Indus. Let's crank up the detail. Looks like we have a few galaxies that showed up here. NGC 7049 is an 11th magnitude galaxy. It's in the database, but there's no picture of it. Sometimes if you zoom in a little bit and pan around, you'll get lucky and catch an image that Stellarium has loaded. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case today. Here's something called the Witch's Broom Galaxy. This is a 14th magnitude galaxy in Indus. Yeah, you can zoom in all you want, and all you're going to get is the icon that shows you its location. So that's how you would go about using Stellarium as a star chart. Let's see. Okay, as I have no other deep sky objects listed here to highlight, this concludes my tour of Indus, the Indian. Good night and good seeing.